So, I've just seen the finale, ECW, WWECW, and that was quite a weird show, but to be honest, I quite enjoyed that main event. It was just quite a fun kind of extreme rules, hardcore match, and it's as extreme as like WWE gets these days, really. And I'd say, out of a lot of stuff that I've seen on this new kind of new ECW that's been on for the past few years, that was like the kind of match that is pretty close to the old ECW, obviously without the like blown spots and the like blood and stuff, for sure. I mean, even like Tiffany, like running in and spearing Rosa Mendes, just reminded me of like Beulah McGillicuddy, like just getting Francine or something. Um, but obviously without like the rudeness. But yeah, I enjoyed that main event. There's some like quite innovative stuff with the trash can and all that. And Ezekiel Jackson just looks so fucking. He's probably like one of the thickest looking physiques I've ever seen in wrestling. Bloody hell, he's enormous. And he won the ECW title from that. And I wonder what they're going to do with that title. I mean, this NXT thing that they were hyping up throughout the show, it's basically going to be some kind of hybrid of reality and live wrestling. So I'm guessing it's going to like focus around the guys that the WWE wrestlers are going to mentor. But I don't know what's going to happen with their belt. I mean, is Ezekiel Jackson going to be the champ of that brand? So like those guys can like learn how to wrestle a fucking hoss of a man. I mean, because that's what WWE is really. I mean, if you're gonna like be a main eventer in WWE, they have to like learn to wrestle like some kind of like big, oafish brute. I mean, to be honest, I don't think Ezekiel Jackson's that bad. I mean, I think he's like miles better than like Kozlov or someone like that. And but maybe it's just because how good Christian is. I mean, Christian just he's like just a great all rounder, and I kind of like worry what's gonna like happen to him when he's on another brand. I think at best maybe he'll get a kind of Chris Jericho style role. I mean, like being not like as a great heel or anything. Well, maybe as a great heel eventually, but just like you know, being that kind of upper mid carder, like the go-to guy if someone is like injured and like they need someone for a main event. I see him like that at best, really. I mean, I'd love him to like just be injected into the main event scene and do great things because he's one of the best all-rounders that WWE has, bar none. But I don't really know if that's going to be the case. I mean, I think at best probably isn't going to get like a proper world title. Maybe sometime down the line, like in years to come, after a lot of hard work. But I don't know. Well, let's just hope he doesn't become like Matt Hardy or something, eh? But yeah, as for the rest of the show, that Abraham Washington stuff was just fucking weird, if you ask me. Just really bizarre. Bit shit. I like that new tag team, that Trent Beretta and Kalen Croft. They seem like funny guys, like the kind of guys I like to watch. Um, the Goldust and Yoshitatsu match against Miz and Big Show was just very ordinary, and that was the show. Just not much really. I've got mixed opinions about ECW going. I mean, there's some of it I really enjoyed, like maybe like in 2000 parts of 2007 and 2008. I really enjoyed it, and there were some good matches last year as well. I mean, it was a good place for like talent to like regain steam if they like lost in the shuffle on Raw or SmackDown, or like for a young person to like identify themselves. But I don't know. I guess like they've learnt that, and hopefully they're gonna like do it properly by like focusing over a handful of guys for this NXT thing. But then the problem will be when they go to Raw or SmackDown, they get lost in the shuffle. Seems to be like a never-ending cycle of that kind of thing, and hopefully they can break out of this. I mean, the funniest thing was the Miz mentoring Bryan Danielson, who's now called Daniel Bryan. That is so creative, that name, isn't it? But yeah, I think that's quite funny. I mean, is it? I don't understand it. Is it going to be like a kayfabe thing? Is the Miz going to be in character with Bryan Danielson, just being his like jerky kind of self? Because I'd kind of find that interesting to see, to be honest. And like, can you imagine like CM Punk with that guy that did look like that Trevor that he shaved the head of on SmackDown about a month ago or so? Like, is he going to be all like, oh, join our straight edge society, be at one with a nation under Punk? I mean, is that going to happen? I really don't know, but I'm kind of intrigued by this NXT thing. I hope it works out, but it probably will just be the same old thing, like where they'll get built up, then lost in the shuffle when they go to Raw or SmackDown, which is just a bit bizarre and not fair, but it's just the way it goes with WWE, isn't it? I mean, I don't know what's going to become of like someone like Shelton Benjamin that defines being lost in the shuffle. Well, I don't know, but I can't really see him in Money in the Bank again this year. I just think that's too like stale and overdone. But yeah, ECW's gone, and one part of me is like, fair enough, you know. It become a bit of a stale show. I mean, that Abraham Washington stuff was shit. I mean, it wasn't anything that was ever going to replicate the original ECW. I'm sure there's like definitely on the first One Night Stand pay per view that was fucking awesome, and that was Paul Heyman there, all Paul Heyman, and the second one, you know, had an influx of like WWE people as ECW people and stuff like that, and that was quite promising, but obviously it wasn't meant to be. It wasn't going to be like the same thing. You know, people like Sandman and Sabu, like broken down now. Sandman's like not even wrestling anymore and stuff. But yeah, the last ECW. Um, but I think the new ECW did do some good. I mean, it helped bring out people like John Morrison and The Miz, and I I thought like Christian had some good matches last year, and Evan Bourne when he was on there, he was doing really good. But when he went to Raw, sucked. Same with Jack Swagger. I thought it was a place for like people to go, so it's a shame that it's gone in that respect. But in another way, I don't really mind. I just hope they get it right with this NXT and don't fuck it up, because Bryan Danielson should be like really great, but who knows? It remains to be seen. Anyway, that's my thoughts on the ECW and a few bits of NXT. Cheers.